Men are beings who are very cautious about spending resources, any resources, because every man is a warrior, a protector, and he lives by the principle, what if there's war? He gets tired, and that's why if a woman doesn't interest him, he won't invest any resources in her, be it time, money, or anything else. But women, on the other hand, are softer beings, and they often say, oh, he's just afraid of his feelings, or he just had a bad divorce. They believe that he's deeply in love. He just doesn't realize it. Women tend to justify men's nasty behavior, wasting their time and damaging their self-esteem. When they finally realize it, they look back and think, what have I done with my life? 7 years wasted. But dear girl, he told you from the beginning, I don't need anything. Yet you were still hoping, thinking, I'll change him. I'll get that ring. He'll propose to me. But nothing happened. In this video, I'll tell you what to look out for so you don't waste your time, attention, love, and protect yourself from further heartbreak. Most of the time, the initiative comes from you. You text him, good morning, how are you? Maybe we could meet for lunch. You're the one constantly checking your phone for messages. You send a text, wait a while, then send another one, and then another, and still no reply. You keep checking your WhatsApp, anxiously waiting for his response. Meanwhile, he's busy with his life. He's not thinking about you at that moment. He's just scrolling through his phone and may even forget to reply to you. Week after week, you're texting him and he doesn't initiate anything. If you're the only one making the effort, if he doesn't text you, doesn't suggest any plans, doesn't show any interest, dear girl, get out of those outdated illusions. He has the right not to be interested in you. If the initiative always comes from you, stop being so invested. There is no equality in a relationship where only one person is making the effort. Relationships should be based on mutual interest. If you've already initiated contact and suggested meeting up, and he agrees, then great, you both want to meet, and you make plans to see each other. But if you're the only one initiating, and he's never the one suggesting plans, that's a huge red flag. Try clapping with one hand. It's not going to happen. Things like this might happen unexpectedly, like when you plan to meet up and everything seems set, but then he cancels last minute, saying he's busy with work or something else. If this happens repeatedly, it's a huge red flag. And the worst scenario is when you show up for the date, looking great and excited, but he just doesn't show up. The only valid excuse could be his death. Any other excuse means he's not serious and you should walk away. Respect in a relationship is essential, and it includes respect for time. If he cancels last minute without informing you in advance, it's a sign that he doesn't value you or your time. Men who genuinely care will make time to see you and will communicate openly if something comes up. If he's constantly making excuses or leaving you waiting, it's time to move on. Another aspect is money. The first resource is time, and the second is money. For example, if he only wants to meet on your terms, or if you're paying for everything, that's a clear sign of disrespect. If you're constantly paying for your dates, your own transport, or your meals, this isn't normal for someone who wants to court you. A man who's genuinely interested in you should take responsibility for organizing dates and paying for them. He should be thinking about where to take you and what to do, not you worrying about the bill or whether you can afford that expensive dish. Finally, another red flag is when he rushes things, like asking you to marry him after just 2 weeks of knowing each other. This is often a sign of an emotionally unstable person. If he seems overly eager and talks about getting married too quickly, it's usually a red flag. Relationships should progress naturally, and taking time to understand each other is important. Another thing to watch out for is when a man suddenly shares personal issues with you that seem to come out of nowhere, like a family member's illness or business problems. These are often manipulation tactics designed to get you to sympathize and feel obligated to help. If these issues pop up just a few months into your relationship, be careful. It's usually a sign of someone trying to take advantage of your kindness. If he suddenly becomes distant or starts asking for money or favors, it's time to cut ties. You may think you can change him, but the truth is, if he doesn't care about you or the relationship, there's nothing you can do. If you're dealing with a manipulator or a cold-hearted person, you need to ask yourself why you're wasting your time. It's important to realize that relationships should bring joy and mutual respect, not stress and constant disappointment. If you're in a relationship where you feel uncertain about where it's headed, or if you're just tired of constantly questioning yourself, maybe it's time to take a step back and reassess. If you don't feel happy or safe, it's better to let go. Sometimes the hardest part is leaving, but it's better than staying in a toxic relationship.